Welcome from Finland's 7th biggest town called Lahti. Today I have expert help by my side, the famous ski jumper Colin Phillips from England, who unfortunately is not participating in the tour.
It's a great pleasure to me, my friends. Thank you very much for the invitation and hello everybody.
That's how the takeoff has to be. An explosive extension of the body at the right point on the jump table, and then an intensely powerful takeoff.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Let's have a look at the replay. Let's Great hum and buzz. There aren't many rivals left for him. It's amazing. His performance, and at that age, his distances are virtually always around the Cape Point, or even further.
Yes, I'll take my hat off to him. Great stuff.
Colin, what do you say about this?
Great, absolutely great. There's not much he can improve on. That was really very good. He put down the skis at the right moment. And what's more important still, Mark, he did an impeccable turnout landing. The judges will appreciate that, I'm sure.
The replay will show it. Ski jumping fans will know that a lot of famous skiers come from Lahti, and top of the list.
Janne Ahoim, naturally.
Yeah. That looks as if he had never done anything else in his life than taking off. Great timing. His skis take off precisely at the right point, and he's got the right degree of explosivity. Even the weather is now eager to create perfect start conditions.
Yes, I can sense there'll be some record distances today.
Great approach run, don't you think, Colin?
Yes, it couldn't be better. He's standing perfectly on his skis. If there were style points given for the approach run, he'd get maximum score here, Mark.
Yeah, but he also had some luck with the wax mixture. He chose the right part for these snow conditions.
And he's going down fast.
The last Slovene World Cup winner was Primož Peterka at the end of the 90s. So it's high time a Slovene makes it to the top again, isn't it?
This one might make it, Mark. Let's hope he's got the right wax mixture.
A sigh of relief from his coach. A problem-free landing that should convince the judges. The score must be good. Otherwise, I'd be astonished.
Yeah, so would I.
I think this is worth having a second. Improves from competition to competition and from jump to jump. Let's see how far up he could get in the ranking.
He should go way up now, I think.
Lati is equipped with 3 ski jumps in a row.
Like organ pipes.
Yeah, actually. They could hold a competition in synchronized skiing. His takeoff training seems to have paid off. No problems on the jump table. Not too early, not too late. That was perfect.
Yeah, that was great.
The hard work in training paid off. His posture is perfect, and the skis are fast as hell. Here's the final ranking for you, ladies and gentlemen. After a thrilling competition, next time all skiers have the chance to go for gold. Until then, I say cheerio and adios to my co-commentator, Colin Phillips.
Well, thanks very much there, Mark. It was a pleasure being here, really. I've had great fun. Maybe not quite as much as being one of the jumpers myself, but maybe next time. See you soon. Bye now. Take care, everyone.
Goodbye. There you are!
I'm sorry, it's hell out there.
We say hello to you from the Finnish sporting town of Lahti.
Yes, hello.
I'm sure that not only fans of the British team will be happy to hear that my co-commentator today.
At least I can support my home country in this way.
This is the start of the Nordic tournament. Pleasant anticipation or tension, Colin?
Well, if you're not taking part, you can lean back and enjoy it.
Yes, you can. That's how it's supposed to look.
Yep.
Calm posture, no fidgeting, no arm movement, and his chest bent far over his skis. No problem with his skis either. The wax is superb. His speed at takeoff will be amazing.
Well, it should be.
Many jumpers say that it is sometimes harder to get through the... Ski jumping developed from downhill at the end of the 18th century. The inhabitants of a small town in the province of Norway called Telemark probably got bored by always just racing straight down into the valley, so they started to jump over small elevations. At least that's the story spun by the sport historians about the origins of the sport. Ooh. Thanks to There's not much to grumble at. A good score for his jump, but still capable of improvement.
I can do a lot better than that.
We separate the grain from the chaff, so the fine saying goes.
Or the boys from the men.
Something like that. Now there's a Slovene sitting on the start line. In a few seconds he'll be on the inline. But before that he has to check his bindings again to make sure he won't lose his skis on takeoff. These things happen. Perfect landing with a nice telemark. Could you explain to our spectators what's important in a telemark, Colin?
Well, that's easy. A telemark is a thrusting step with the skis. The rear leg is bent down lower than the front leg. So it's a kind of curtsy.
To the public?
No, to the gods of winter sports.
So this is an overview of the final ranking, ladies and gentlemen. It's been an exciting competition today, and that's how we like it. So see you next time. It's goodbye from Mark Rafferty.
And from me, Colin Phillips, thanks and goodbye.
Bye. Today we welcome you from a town on a beautiful lake, the Calavesi, with its countless islands. I have Colin Phillips with me, an institution in British ski jumping.
It's a very different experience watching the others jump for once. Maybe I'll take over your job soon, Mark.
The Nordic tournament continues. Great. Superb. A very, very nice take.
Excellent.
As if he had pushed the right button at the right moment.
Super. Absolutely super.
Let's have another look. So, this is the result of the first round. The pressure is enormous. But if he doesn't get a rank at the very top, his dream of victory this season is as good as over. He seems strained, tired, and done for these days.
But when he sees the public here, he'll put everything he has into it. I still think he's capable of a good performance, Mark.
I think he'll rejoice again when he has a look at the video of this flight tonight. And his good performance was appreciated by the judges.
This will give him extra motivation for the next competitions.
Now we get the chance to analyze. His performance is regular as clockwork this season. He's always in the top group. His practice seems to pay off.
Absolutely. He wouldn't let anyone pass him now, but on the other hand, he's not yet good enough to make the decisive step towards becoming number one.
Well, that's good for the maximum score. At least that's my opinion. Let's see if the judges agree with me.
Well, I reckon so, Mark. By the way, have you ever tried to make a jump yourself?
No. Why?
Well, it would be nice if you, as a reporter, knew exactly what you were talking about.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are the final results for your information. I'd be glad to have you with us again next time. And many thanks to my co-commentator, Colin Phillips.
Oh, thanks to you too, Mark. Thanks for having me. Thank you, everyone. See you next time.
See you next time. It's not without reason that Lillehammer has a skier in its coat of arms.
I hope the skiers won't turn up with a spear and a shield. I would have liked to start myself, but it wasn't meant to be.
Good to have you with us for another event in the Nordic tournament. The strong tailwind might become a real problem.
Yes, this kind of wind pushes you down, so that it's difficult to control the takeoff from the jump tackle, right? Power and explosivity. That's what you need at the takeoff. And that's what seems to have gone clean out of his mind.
Don't mince your words. The takeoff was a catastrophe.
Well, I didn't want to say it, but you're right.
I said, that was an exciting call. Yet another remark about the so-called hill sands. The specification is calculated at that point of the outrun where there is still a 32% gradient. It's mostly a little less than the jury distance.
I couldn't explain it any better.
Let's take the time to... In a few seconds, this skier from Japan will start. There's no improving on that, eh? Timing, explosivity, everything was 100% perfect. These are the results of today's competition, ladies and gentlemen. The three winners of the day, cheered by the crowd. Next time, things can turn out quite differently. We hope you'll be with us again. Mark Rafferty
And Colin Phillips.
take their leave of you.
Au revoir.
Hello from the capital of Norway, the center of Nordic skiing. Hello from the Holmenkollen in Oslo. I have a special guest today, Colin Phillips. Would you mind me
I'm happy to be here too. Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
This is the last round of the Nordic tournament. It's going to be an exciting event. Nothing's decided yet, not even at the top. It's not that easy to find the right wax mixture, but you got to be active. There you can see what difference it makes in terms of speed.
But only if the posture is right.
But it does, 100%. I think this is... The field of skiers is on the decrease. Only the best 30 athletes will come back for the decisive... We can't expect long distances today. The tailwind is much too strong. Well, that's the way it is.
You can't change it.
You could use this approach in a video to teach the youngsters perfect posture, thus a minimal air resistance, and it looks very fast. Let's have a look at a rank among the top 20. Let's be honest, that guy isn't yet ready for that. He's one for the future, that's for sure, but his present collapse could be predicted, couldn't it, Colin?
Well, I think so, but I suppose he knows that in his heart of hearts too.
A textbook telemark. Everything was correct, from timing to point on ski position. The spectators are enthusiastic, and rightly so. I think he can be sure to earn a great deal of praise from his coach.
Yeah, he should do.
That's it. He's fought his way back into the ski jumping circle after his serious injury. He's near to equaling his old performances.
Well, to tell the truth, Mark, I wouldn't have thought it possible, to be honest.
It's amazing. Considering his abilities, that was a reasonable performance. Good work.
Good work.
I would like to ask you something, Colin. For many people, ski jumping is totally serious, but at the same time, it's a big show and should be fun above all.
Show? Listen, ski jumping virtually belongs to the arts. It demands absolute seriousness and devotion to the sport.
I had a colleague who made a joke about UFOs flying over the jump. He was bombed with hate.
Yeah, I can imagine, because it's inappropriate to make fun of sports.
Okay, I didn't say that. At the very beginning of Oslo's ski jumping history, the in-run consisted of branches that were covered with snow.
So weird.
Yeah, it's also impossible to believe that the Crown Prince Haakon would make a jump nowadays. But his grandfather did, in 1922, and the future king and then Crown Prince Olaf took part in the competition.
Oh, you certainly know your history, don't you?
Yeah, I do. To me, he's one of the great surprises of the season. I wouldn't have expected to see him in the top 10.
No, me neither, Mark, but it's those shooting stars who make this sport interesting.
The hard work in training paid off. His posture is perfect, and the skis are fast as hell. Great season for him. His performance is consistently good or even very good. And that's reflected in the rankings. He'll keep his place in the top 10. No way he's going to be pushed out.
No, I don't see that.
Great landing. His many fans out there on the screens will be rejoicing.
No, absolutely, Mark. That looked really good. Excellent landing. You know, putting the skis parallel is an art in itself, and he managed it perfectly.
At first, ski jumping was a sport for amateurs. Commercialization only started in the 70s. From then on, the competitions were shown on TV so that people all over the world could watch them. It was about the same period that the number of professional jumpers increased significantly. You can see an upward trend in his performance, and I don't think there's one rival who still underestimates him.
You're right, Mark. But he hasn't beaten me yet.
Nope. And now a German skier. I'm sure it's not only his coach he wants to impress.
Mark, what about Sven Hannavert? I haven't seen him around in a while.
Oh, he'll reappear on the scene, I'm sure of that. That's how it's supposed to look.
Yep.
Calm posture, no fidgeting, no arm movement, and his chest bent far over his skis. No problem with his skis either. The wax is superb. His speed at takeoff will be amazing.
Yeah, it should be.
I'm afraid the wind that has come up will literally pin the skiers to the ski jump.
Indeed. You shouldn't underestimate this, you know. It's blowing so fiercely, it will be hard to compensate for it during the flight.
Perfect start for his flight. The takeoff was excellent.
However, there's always a little bit of luck in it, but this one was precise and powerful.
Yes, it was. For all those who are not yet experts in ski jumping, I'd like to explain the point about hill size again. In the early days, the ski jumps were giving a so-called K-point, which means critical or calculation point. But as this point doesn't tell much about the actual size of the ski jump, the term hill size was introduced in 2004. but the distance points are still calculated in comparison to the K-points.
Wow, I could listen to you for hours, right?
Thank you, Colin.
You're welcome.
A ski jumping victory in Oslo. For a skier, that's the equivalent of winning Wimbledon as a tennis player, isn't it, Colin?
Well, that's true. It's one of the greatest things to gain victory at ski jumping's native land and on the oldest ski jump in the world to boot. I'm working on it now.
He's very, very close to the top skiers in the world. Actually, he's already one of them. If he can keep up this performance, he's a real threat to the leaders.
Yeah, excellent season for him, absolutely.
Now that was a jump that matched his actual potential. He's simply not good enough yet to perform better and to make long distances. Maybe we should talk about women in ski jumping too.
Oh,
As
yes.
in many other sports, the ladies hardly manage to emerge from the men's shadow. I wonder why. Because they also achieved impressive distances. The actual record is held by the Austrian Daniela Iraschko with 200 meters. That was a good jump. Not a very good one. And the score reflects that. I think the judges made a wise decision. Let's have a look at the overall ranking after this fascinating competition.
Yes.
The winners' fans are cheering, but the skiers on the second and third place can be satisfied too with their performance today, I think. And thanks to all the others who made today such an enjoyable day. So see you next time. Mark Rafferty and the British ski jumping star Colin Phillips say goodbye to you now.
Well, next time I prefer to be up there on the ski jump myself,
Yes.
Mark.
Looking forward to it.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.